guys, with no further ado, here's a gentleman that I've known for over, I stopped counting after 10 years. Here's a gentleman that I know that's to me is the best in the industry because of the way he leads, by the way he helps others. And it's really never about the income. It's always about serving others. I mean, we were just hanging out and having some lunch before we came in here, and we were talking about how happy it is to see people in the team win. And that's amazing to get that from someone, that type of heart from an individual at that level. So let's bring up Mr. Joshua Denne and bring him up.
Thank you guys. Feel good?
Yeah.
I keep doing that. Well, thank you. Thank you for that, Alex. All right, so here's the deal. I'm going to go through just some basic stuff, and then we're going to get out of here and go do it between now and next week. The whole goal in starting a business is starting a business, right? You get it going, and then you have to ask yourself, what's the first step? What's the first step once you've decided, you made a decision to get a business going? The first step is to open, kind of turn the sign on, kind of the proverbial sign, turn it on, and it's going to say what? Open. Open for business. So how do you do that? In this profession, much like in if you're a realtor, if you're in insurance, or if you're in one of those types of businesses, you need to go tell people. You need to let them know, hey, this is what I'm doing. I'm in business. This is what I'm doing. You want to make a list of everyone that you possibly know and start there. Now, you may have heard this type of thing before. Make a list and go tell everybody. And sometimes we have a hesitation to do that. Sometimes we say, well, I don't want to tell my friends and family. I don't want to tell the people that I know. Look, don't think that they're going to all sign up because they're probably not. The thing is, though, if they're your friends and their family, people that you love, they care about you, don't they? At least you hope they do. And like your friends and family, if someone came to you and said, hey, look, this is what I'm doing right now. Do you know anybody? Would you help them if you came across someone who you knew was going to buy a house, say if they're in real estate, if you knew they needed an insurance product, you'd help them, wouldn't you? You're in skincare. You're in a new business. You say, look, I'm in a new business. I have great skincare products. I want to share it with you. Now, you may or may not be interested yourself, but I know you know some people that would be interested. And as you go through life, you're going to find some people. I'd be appreciative if you could refer them to me. Very simple. That's where it starts. And we don't know what's going to happen. There's no real prediction of it. You can't predict how this business is going to turn out for you. Here's what I do know, though. If you follow the actions, it'll work for you 100% of the time. Okay? There's not anyone I know in my career over the last almost 20 years now that has gotten started and decided they were going to do it, made a plan that they were going to do it, and started following this action program and didn't win big. I've met a lot of people who said they were going to do it, who quit because it got hard. Believe me, this is business, folks. Make no mistake about it. I wasn't up here selling you on some lottery. I wasn't up here selling you on something that you're just going to, you're going to sign up today and tomorrow you're going to get rich. Did I? No, I talked about a legitimate business, talked about the timing, and I talked about why this is a good opportunity to get started in. Any business anywhere in the world is going to require effort. It's going to require work. Now, the good news is it's something you can do. I don't care who you are or how old you are, you can do it. It's simple. It is very, very simple in its application. However, the consistency of it's where it gets difficult. I'm going to liken it to exercise, okay? Most of us know how to exercise, whether we choose to or not. I have not exercised in quite some time, so I'm not trying to talk about exercise, but I do know if I want to get in shape, there's just a very simple program I got to follow. Eat right, move more, eat less, pretty much, right? That's pretty much the formula. Now, if I want to get in shape faster, I need to exercise. Now, guys, how many men have ever been to a gym? Okay, now, it's not just going to the gym, right? It's actually like lifting the weights and doing the stuff there, isn't it? Now, everyone would agree, I don't think anyone would disagree in this room, that if you exercised for 3 months solid at, say, 30 minutes a day, and you gave it your all in that 30 minutes, provided you don't have any health challenge that would prevent you from it, that you'd be in significantly better physical condition after 3 months than you are today. Is that not true? It's not up for debate, is it? It's just what would happen. Now, we all know that. Conceptually, we can understand it. Doing it, however, is a different story. We all know we can do it. It's just the choices we make. I want you to know that success in this business is the same thing. The challenge is for most of us, it's a little bit harder. It's more abstract because there's money involved. And for those of you that were like me, that were not raised in a wealthy home, money can be foreign. Earning it can be, I always relate it to like seeing smoke. Like you can see it, but when you go to grab it, what happens? It just kind of slips through your fingers. You can tell people are making money. Before I knew how, I could see that it was real. Like smoke, you can see that it's real, but when you went to get it, you just couldn't get your hands on it. Until I learned the formula. And once I learned the formula, all I had to do is consistently apply it. And then it became real. Some of you have seen my videos, right, where I put out when I was not doing well financially. And you said, well, Josh, how come you were positive then? Because I knew what the outcome would be. I had no doubt. Why? Because I'd done it before. It wasn't that I was hoping. I knew it's a formula. Just like I know if I go to the gym and I exercise consistently, I'm going to get fit. It's not a matter of, I hope so, well, maybe. So a lot of times someone gets started in a business like this and I've been saying, all right, so are you going to achieve this rank? And they say, well, I hope so. What do you mean you hope so? You're either going to do it or you're not going to do it. There's no hoping about it. This is not some lottery, like I said earlier. This is a business. And if you follow the protocol, if you follow the formula, you will achieve success. It's not even a matter of debate. It's just doing it. So my goal over the next 10 minutes or so is give you the formula. What is that formula? How do you do it? And if you keep doing it, I assure you success. I assure it. It's not, I mean, it's just like planting seeds. Okay, think about it for a second. We all understand how seeds work and trees grow, don't we? We all know it. We have never been a farmer or a gardener, but we all understand that if you put a seed in the ground and you water it, eventually what happens? Something. All right, you grow something. Something happens. In a business, typically what happens is we expect it right away, but in farming or in gardening, if you're going to plant a bunch of seeds, you're not going to eat right away. You're not going to eat that fruit. You're planting corn, for example. Corn has like a 90-day gestation period, meaning 90 days from the time you put the seed in the ground before corn appears. 90 days. And in that 90 days, you're planting, you're cultivating, you're caring for your crop, and eventually, after 90 days, you're going to get a result. Kind of similar to exercise, right? There's going to be this pattern. Working out, 90 days later, you see a dramatic result. Because, again, it's the same thing as like working out. You decide one day you're going to go do it. You know, you're like, all right, I'm going to do it. You sign up for a gym membership, or you buy the Xanity or the P90X or something. You get all pumped up. And you get the video program, or you go to the gym. And after the first day, how many have ever done this, right? You've worked out, you're sweating it, and you said, I'm going to do it. You have your goals on the wall. You know, you told all your buddies, and you did it, 45 minutes or whatever, 30 minutes, you're sweating. You're like, you have a pain right in this area, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, ah. And you did it, right? First day. Now you go to the scale, you step on it, nothing. I even lost a pound. In fact, how many have ever seen it? You gain weight. You're like, what? Not only am I in pain, but it went the other way. Right? I mean, but we wouldn't judge whether we can do it or not based on the first day's results, would we? No, just like we plant the seed in the ground. No one plants a seed in the ground, right? Covers it up, waters it, and looks at the seed and goes, what's up? I need some corn now. Planted the seed, I watered you. You wouldn't go digging around in there, would you? You like take the seed out, look at it. What's wrong with you, seed? You let it have its process. So I want you to understand the thinking of a business. This is the thinking of a business. Many of you are going to get out there and you're going to start working. You're not going to see the results that you want right away. And what tends to happen is we get discouraged. We go, man, this business doesn't work. These guys don't know what they're talking about. And I want you to remember this. Remember, that's like going to the gym one day and not getting your results. Planting the seed and the first day you don't get your crop. It's just what it is. Okay? Now, you may luck up and the first person you talk to signs up. God bless you. That's rare. Okay? If that happens for you, I'm proud of you. But the challenge is our goal. My goal is just to teach you the activity. Here's what I know for sure. If you follow the activity, you will succeed. You will succeed. It is not a matter of debate like I mentioned earlier. It is a certainty, like working out or planting or any other analogy I can come up with. Now, what is that? What is the working here in this business? Very simple. You have a list of people, mainly people that you know, and it's the best way to start there. Now, if you have some lead generation program, but I don't know. I don't know about that stuff. I'm not going to teach it here today. But there's people who do that stuff. If you know that stuff, great, go do it. Here's what I know works for sure. I start with everyone I know. In my mind, I'm not thinking to myself, I'm going to sell all these people. I'm going to get them in my business. My goal is simply to inform all of them of what I'm doing. Okay? You could use and here's one of the best things you can tell somebody. You know, Moses is a friend of mine. I can call up Moses. Hey, Moses, it's Josh. Listen, I don't have a lot of time. I'd love to set an appointment with you. I need to practice a presentation. Take about 15 minutes. Would you be willing to help me with a new company I'm starting with? Can I practice with you for 15 minutes? Yeah, I mean, who's going to say no? No. If they're a friend of yours, they're not going to say no to you. They'll say, sure, yeah, come on over. Come over and just practice your presentation. Okay, practice your presentation. You go, well, Josh, how do I do the business? Very simple, okay? Now, for the last couple of years, all I've done is I've done what's in this magazine. The reason I like it so much is because I tell the story that's in this magazine. It's the story of Secret. Okay, and the beginning of it, we have Dr. Ho here, who's a professor of UCLA, and many of you know the story. Dr. Liu and I went to see him in his office. He'd already spent 7 figures on his own skincare line, and we just wanted him to try the products. Phoebe got him to recover. He tried it, liked it, started asking more questions. Phoebe kept talking to him, and he decided to eventually become an agent because he liked the product so well. And the story is in here. That story, it's a very compelling story. Why? Because he's a UCLA professor, right? He's a graduate of USC, UCLA, Stanford, and Harvard. Not some pretty nice schools, reputable as far as I've heard. He speaks several languages fluently, very sharp, very sophisticated person, quality guy. Gets involved with Secret. And why? We did the Secret stories in here. How Isaac and Moti got started, the Ben Shabbat family, the story I shared in the briefing. I don't have to go through it again, but it's brief stories right here. Talk about it, how it became into network marketing, why they did that. Story about the Dead Sea, why the Dead Sea is amazing, okay, and the minerals, and these products. And then, of course, there's extra content here I don't really go through when I'm talking to people about the regimens and why the regimens are there, and the peptide technology, and all the good stuff, recover. And then, of course, the best part, you get some pictures before and after to show people. But my favorite part of this whole magazine is the stories. I get to tell the stories of people having success. You got Tim Herr, you got Chris Kim, you got, we're in here, you got Tiffany and John Malott, you got Elena Call and Casey Call, you got Jesse and Patty McPherson, Derek Gilson, who's, by the way, going to be here next month, March. You got Joe Valenzuela, you got Nicole Wong, Ben and Lauren Bradshaw, Mello Caspio, Zach and Zuri Cheney, Sharon Davis, Julian Doan, Greg Holiday, Kai Hung. I mean, you got good people in here. Kai had to redo this whole thing because he smashed it. No longer a platinum, he's like a red diamond now. But here's the thing. How I used to do my presentation was this magazine. I'd tell the story and I'd demo the products. And I'd tell the stories of success. Now, I think I'm going to do something different because this is what they did in the kiosk. I'm going to demo the products first. That's what I'm going to do. I sit with someone. If I say, Moses, can you help me practice? I'm going to say, look, let me wow you in a few minutes. Let me show you some stuff that I was shown. Because this is what got me, personally, when I saw the products. And I'm going to show several products. Okay, I'm going to show the nail buffer. How many have seen that by show of hands? If you haven't seen it, see it. It's really neat. Okay, I'm going to show that to them. I'm going to show them the peeling gel. I'm going to show them the M4. Now, if I have the opportunity, I'm going to show them the salt and oil as well. So I'm going to show them several products. And you could do all these demos in less than a couple minutes, can't you? Literally, less than like 2 minutes, you could do all those demos. And after that, what happens? It's going to be like, this is kind of cool. And then I'll tell the story of Secret. Okay, now I'm going to tell the story and say, look, and you can be brand new. Go, look, I don't know. All I know is, okay, there's a company that got started from immigrant family, and they built it up in the U.S., and they did incredibly well. They went to 40 countries. They're the largest manufacturer, and they were the best products. And they're now moving into relationship marketing because they're able to take the prices down for the consumer. So at the end of the day, the customer wins. The customer wins big, and there's enough money left over to pay people like you and I for helping them build their customer base. It's like, how many are familiar with Uber? You on Facebook? Anyone? No one? Okay. Uber's it's like they're replacing the cab companies, and they pay people for referrals. Look, so many businesses do it these days. It's so normal. They say, look, that's what they're doing. They're just paying people referrals. The good news is, though, they don't just pay you one time for the referral. Every time that person uses the product or buys the product, you're going to keep getting paid. So it's a way to build a residual business. So, and then I'll tell stories. I'll tell stories that are in the magazine. That's why I like it. Now, again, you don't need the magazine to do it because once you have the stories down, you can just tell the stories. That's why every week the testimonials tell the stories. They're good stories to tell. You know, I'm working with some people and just tell their story, what they're doing. You know, look, I'm just fortunate if I get to work with them. And then you can ask them to participate. Okay? There's 3 ways to participate. We talked about it at the briefing. That's why coming to the event, the briefing's, in my opinion, far more valuable than coming to the training. The briefing's the best training there is. This is how I learned how to do network marketing, guys. This is how I learned how to do it. I showed up at the briefing every day and I took notes like crazy. I showed up early and I invited people. Okay, so, and during the week, what I did is I went and showed people. During the time you have available, you have work breaks, you have lunch breaks, you have time that you have. And whether you have a family, you have other obligations or other business, business projects you're working on, good. Find the time that you can allocate to Secret, to your business, and in that time, there's 2 things you need to be doing. 2 things. 1, scheduling appointments to show people Secret, and 2, show people Secret. That's what, and in that, when you're showing people Secret, all you're doing there, okay, you're demoing the products, you're telling the story, you're telling the success stories, you're giving people options on how they can get started, and you're going to invite them to the next event. Now, the next event may be a wow party that you set up, that you scheduled. For them, it may be an event like this week. You know, it may be like, some of you know people in San Diego. Maybe you're scheduling them for tomorrow night, San Diego. I don't know. It may be the next, whatever the event is. But that's what we're doing. Also, in that, if I'm sitting with Moses, I'm practicing, I'm going to find out who he knows. My goal in this process is not to sign Moses up. Okay, if Moses and I are buddies, and I'm sitting down with him, and I'm going to show him this, and you can do this in 15 minutes. My goal isn't to sign him up. I hope he signs up. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. My goal is the exercise. This is where you smoke by people, guys. Okay? Some people, they're so enthralled in trying to convince people to do it. That's not my game. I don't care if they do it or they don't do it. It doesn't matter to me, and it shouldn't matter to you either. Now, like on a human side, yeah, I want them to win, of course. But here's what I realized. A person convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. Some people just are stuck on their way of thinking. Is that right? I don't know. Maybe for them. Maybe for them. And I can't drag them across the finish line. You know, you've heard these cliches, right? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. I don't know. I don't get caught up on that stuff. All I know is my exercise, my planting of the seed and cultivation is simply doing this action. Sitting with Moses, demonstrating the products with them, telling the quick story, and you don't have to be good. Look, in the beginning, Phoebe, he was one of my first presentations. He'll tell you, I was bad. I was horrible. I'm like, I just had a box of products. I'm like, I don't know. Look at this stuff. All I said is, look, man, it was a cardboard box. It wasn't like a fancy bag of stuff. I had the box it came in. And back then, it wasn't like a fancy white box. It was like brown. You know, this brown, one of those cardboard boxes you find in the back alley. That's what it looked like. And I just plopped it up in the Starbucks thing. I was pulling products out. I'm like, you are in skincare. You know what this stuff is, man. I don't know. I'm like, all I know is we're getting rich with this stuff. All I know is this company is amazing. I've never seen anything like it. You got to see it. That was it. It's your enthusiasm. It's your excitement. Here's the biggest thing, folks, is I told Phoebe, I said, listen, I'm doing this no matter what. I'm making $100,000 a month here. You want to come with me or not? I was going. I'm like, look, I'm going here. You want to come? Great. If not, that's okay too. I mean, and he knew where I was. I wasn't acting like I made more. But he knew I was on food stamps, and he knew it. He knew where I was at. I mean, I wasn't lying to him. I wasn't telling him I'm making all this money. I said, I don't care. This is where I'm going, man. I promise you I'll be a multimillionaire on this deal. If you come with me, you'll get some of the action. That was it. So your first thing is, if you decide to be in business, decide to be in business. Decide you're going all the way. Say, I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to do it. And if it's to be, it's going to be up to you. You're going to make that decision. I promise you. It's not going to be your sponsor. It's not going to be your upline. It's going to be you. So I can promise you this one thing. When you win and you win big, it won't be because of your sponsor. It won't be because of your upline or me or anyone else. It'll be because of you. Likewise, if you fail, you decide to quit. That's not also my fault either. Okay? It's not your sponsor's fault. It's not your upline's fault. It's your fault. It's your business, my friends. You're going to make the decision to do this or not do it. It'll be your choice. And now the good news is, and here's the good news, the really good news, is if you decide right now that you're going to do it, just proclaim it. Go, I'm doing it, no matter what. Then all you have to do is follow up with the action. It's like, I'm going to get fit. I'm going to do it, and then you just have to work out. And do it long enough, and it'll happen for you. Now, the good news in this business, if you do it, you'll be financially fit. Look, now is the time for Secret, my friends. This is it. This is the time. This is it. You're at the right moment, at the right time. All you've got to do is the action. And what does that look like again? I'm going to sit down with people. If I sit down with Moses, I'm sitting down with them. It's 15 minutes. I'm going to demo products on them. I'm going to tell the story of Secret. I'm going to just tell the success stories. I'm going to invite him to either a wild party or an event like this. I'm going to find out who he knows. Who do you know? Who do you know we can talk to, Moses? Who do you know that's looking to make some extra money? Who do you know that's looking for great products like this? When can we see him? And I want to see him right now. And I want to go practice again on the next person. And I'm going to keep doing it, and I'm going to keep doing it, and I'm going to keep doing it until I find the right people. Here's for sure what's going to happen. You keep doing this, two things for sure are going to happen. One, you're going to get better. In the beginning, you're going to be horrible. Just realize it. No matter how awesome you are. And some of it's hard for some of us because some of you guys are real cool. Like, I'm too cool. You're not going to be cool for a little bit. It's okay. Okay, but eventually you'll be cool again. Okay, but look, it's everything in life, isn't it? I mean, it's everything. No matter what you do, you got to start off somewhere. So in the beginning, you're going to be horrible. That's great. Get through that as fast as you can. And just be honest about it. The thing with me is that was awesome. People ask me stuff, I'm like, I don't know. How are the ingredients? They're right here. Just read them. I don't know. Salt. I'm serious. I wasn't trying to be someone I wasn't. I was just honest with people. I said, look, here's what it is. Here's what it is. All I know is this is where we're going. So the thing you have to ask yourself is, number one, do you want to do it? Number two, where do you want to go? What's your end result? Now, again, it's not probably to be the expert in Secret. It's probably to acquire a financial ability to provide for your family the way you want to. Travel the way you've always wanted to. Buy maybe the nicer things that you've wanted to do. Give to the organizations that you care about. To provide, to make something happen, something valuable in your life. You can do that with the right and unique opportunity like Secret. And so, here's my suggestion this week. Make a list of everybody. And your goal isn't to sign them up. It's just to show them. I challenge you. How many people like a challenge? I challenge you to do at least 2 presentations a day, every day between now and next week. Just 2 presentations. What that looks like is sitting down with them. You're, again, demoing the product, telling the story. Okay? Telling success stories, inviting them to an event, finding out who they know, and asking them to participate. The 3 ways to participate. Look, you can, Moses, if you want to today, you can become a retail customer, you can be a preferred customer, you can become an agent. Which would you prefer? Most of the time, they don't do any of them. Most of the time. They're like, because they just got a couple information, but I got them out to the event then. He said, well, I'll come out to the event. Okay. Sometimes they go, yeah, I'm an agent. I get it, obviously, right away. Cool. Then I want to go find out who he knows. And him and I are going to go talk to his friends right now. Again, 2 presentations a day. How many feel like 15 minutes, 30 minutes a day? You think you're comfortable you can do that? Okay, we'll see. Okay, we'll see. I just want to challenge you between now and next week. And along that way, if you do that, right, that's, you start tomorrow, that's going to be 14 people, isn't it? Okay, take 2 days off. So you got 5. 10 people. All right, it's 5 days you're going to do this. Take 2 days off. Now, for you champions, you may not take 2 days off. I don't blame you. But you have 10 people that you have talked to, and I promise you at least 2 of them are going to probably show up with you next week. They're going to see it how you see it, and you're going to repeat this process. This is the process that wins for you. This is the process that succeeds. And I promise you, put someone in front of Dr. Phoebe Lou, they're going to sign up. He's a professional. He understands it. I mean, many of you see him on Facebook. I mean, the guy is an amazing human being. He understands this business. He understands how it works. He can communicate it effectively. He's a professional. He's done extraordinarily well in his life. People are going to relate with him. From all areas of life are going to relate with this man. So get people in front of him. How are you going to do that? All week long, you're going to go just do demonstrations. Just go do a presentation. Don't try to sell them. Don't try to convince them. Don't try to make them do it. Don't recruit them. Just be honest with them and show them something. If they like it, great. If they don't, great. Can you all do that? Okay, that's all there is, guys. The only left of this is I show up to everything. You know, there's a convention showing up. You got the March 8th event. I show up to these regionals every month. All right? I show up to the conventions. That's it. And that's all I do. What I just shared with you. That's it. That's it. Bye-bye. Have a great night, guys. Thank you.
I was biting the time zone.